Hi everyone, welcome to Border Techs with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this video might be a little bit late because I've changed it up a little bit and I wanted to let everybody know that I'm very excited and I'm pretty happy. I've been accepted into the Asian Border Techs Community Contributor Program, which I'm very grateful for, and so I thought I'd let you all know with a special video, this one featuring my old mate Cy19 from Calm Clan in the Primo Victoria. The Primo Victoria was a Tier 8 premium tank that came out not so long ago. It's a Swedish Tier 8 premium tank. If you have a look at it, it looks pretty groovy. It's got the big S on the side. S does not stand for Stewie. It stands for Sabatron, the Swedish heavy metal band, I think they might be. And you'll be able to hear their voices are part of this game, part of the features of this tank. It's the band members from Sabatron that do the voices for the tank. But anyway, we're looking at Cy19 from Calm Clan in the Primo Victoria with its 230mm gun, 226 average penetration, 230 damage. It's 83.4mm gun it is, I should say. And he's putting a few beautiful side shots into those heavy tanks crossing on cliff in the central part of the map. Looks like the T32's got the attention of Cy91, but he's already put 3 shots into some of the Tier 7 heavy tanks in this game. Lucky enough to be top tier in this battle. Now I haven't played my Primo Victoria tank yet. It's still sitting in the garage waiting for me to put some equipment on it. It cops a big derp shot from the Oni, the Tier 7 Japanese heavy tank, which is probably the biggest target in the game, and he picks up his first kill. And you can hear those voices. You can hear those voices a little bit different. I've normally got my settings on to just standard English voices because that's the only language I understand. But you can hear the voices are a little bit different, which is not a bad feature of the Primo Victoria. Put some more shots into the Black Prince. He's bouncing that Black Prince all day, which tells me that the turret's pretty good. It does look a lot like a Centurion. In fact, it looks a hell of a lot like a Centurion. It's even got that basket on the back of the turret, which is a feature of the Centurion 7-1 from memory. Artillery splashes him a little bit, but doesn't splash him enough to really affect his aim. He does get a shot into that T25-2, but doesn't manage to penetrate the Tier 7 American tank destroyer. 3-1's a score. Looks towards the side of the turret on the T32. It doesn't quite land the shot. He is moving around a bit, which is affecting his aim, but he's already on 2,128 hit points of damage done. Still looking at that T32. Doesn't manage to penetrate the well-armoured turret of the American heavy tank. Shoots him again. You can hear those voices. If I shut up just for a little while, you'll hear. They do sound like heavy metal singers, the voices on this new premium Swedish medium tank. And I'm hoping that Wargaming bring out a non-premium Swedish line, because I've got 2 premium Swedish tanks, but I haven't really got a crew to cross-trade with them, because obviously the Emil and such, they turn into heavy tanks towards the end of their line. 5-3's the score now. Cy19 having an absolute ripper. He's on 3,057 damage, plus 930 damage block, 261 assisted damage. Continuing to focus on that T32, the top tier American heavy tank on the enemy side. It's a Tier 8 game, not all Tier 8s, there's a lot of Tier 7s in this battle as well. And Cy91 from Calm Clan using the ridgelines very, very well, and that's what the kind of tank it looks like, the kind of tank that's going to do well on ridgelines with that Centurion-esque turret, if you like. Moving up towards the hill now, let's try and get a different angle on this T32. That's the tank he wants to get rid of. You can see on the minimap two heavy tanks sort of trying to engage that T32 from around that ridgeline, but they're both Tier 7s and they might have a little bit of trouble penetrating. No, the VK4503 picks up the kill on that T32, and now Cy91 trying to get some more cheeky shots into that T25-2. That's the one after the Centurion, the turreted American tank destroyer, and that also becomes his second kill of this game. 10-3's the score, 3,452 hit points of damage, 1170 damage blocked. That's almost the hit points of his vehicle that he's blocked. So he's certainly having a good game. Artillery fires towards him. The ISU 152 gets lit, but because he's crew stunned, he doesn't quite get the aim correctly into the big Tier 8 Russian tank destroyer, the one with a massive derp gun, and that SU 152 is a long way away. That's why he hasn't been able to get near shots. Super Pershing, the T26 E4, looks like is he AFK? No, looks like he just might have fired a shot. Bounces the second shot on the Super Pershing. Very interesting place for a heavily armoured top tier medium tank to be. I think if that Super Pershing had been on this ridgeline, his game would have been a hell of a lot different. Bounces him again, gets tracked from the return shot from the Super Pershing, sits behind a tree to try and make it so that he can't be seen, but the GW Panther picks up the kill. 13-4 is the score, and as we normally see towards the end of the game, everyone charging towards where they think the last remaining enemy tanks are. There's that T71 up there on the lighthouse. The M12 picks up the kill on that VK4503. That's the T7 premium German heavy tank, if I'm not mistaken. The IS kills the T71, the auto-loading American light tank. That was the first auto-loader I ever owned, and you can see artillery just copping it big time there. No shot for Psi 91 as the other P Victoria on the team picks up the kill. 15-5 in the end, a reasonably comfortable game as we have a quick look at the post-game battle results before moving on to some more Tier 8 premium medium tank action. You can see it wasn't an ace tanker for Psi 91. Not really sure why. He says that in the comments. 1370 base experience, but still didn't quite get the ace. That tells me that there's a lot of players, and probably a lot of good players, running around in this tank at the moment. The spotted medal, 5 for effect in the high caliber. If you look at the second page, he absolutely smashed it. Apart from the M40, M43, nobody did more than half the damage that Psi 91 did. Still only a first class. 29 shots fired, 24 hit, 19 went through, and have a look at those credits. It's a premium tank and a premium account, 105,556 credits after tax. With his premium account in the premium tank, 29 shots fired, 29 hit, 19 went through, 1410 damage blocked, and just over 1,000 assisted damage. Not a bad game at all for me old mate Psi 91 from Calm Clan in the Primo Victoria. As we move on to the second game in this triple shot of Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank action, this is the old mate Lone Dog from, he's joined Rats Clan. I think that's pretty, he used to be with Aguila Clan from memory. He's in the T25 Pilot 1. This is another tank which I've dabbled with a little bit, and it's a pretty fun tank to play. You can see it's pretty quick. It's got a 90mm gun, 240 damage, 192 penetration with standard rounds, 243 with APCR. He gets spotted on Stalingrad in a place where medium tanks often go. The Primo Victoria on the enemy side's been spotted. That big Oho, that's certainly going to be a challenge to deal with the 1700 hit points in that Oho. He pulls back, doesn't shoot a shot into the Oho. I reckon it might have been worth a try, but of course with 192mm of penetration, if the Oho's angled, is certainly going to be challenging to penetrate that shot, the Oho on the enemy side. Going down to where the medium tanks normally go on Stalingrad, he wants to be very careful. Does put a shot into the side of the Oho, cops one from the Primo Victoria. His team is down by a tank, 0-1. Just biding his time here, waiting for his chance. He doesn't want to. You can see there's a lot of guns up there. They could all be aiming his way if he pokes around that corner. So it looks like Lone Dog from Rats Clan's going to look for a different angle on these tanks. Auto aims and shoots at the M4A1 Reveloir, the Ravioli tank. Gets another shot into the Reveloisi. He wants to get rid of it because that's got a pretty good gun, and that's a gun that can certainly do a lot of damage to his teammates. You can see the Centurion 1 just ahead of him on very low health. Looks towards the Oho. Looks like the Oho is focusing on the Primo Victoria. So Lone Dog doing the right thing. Wants to chip away at that heavily armoured top tier Japanese heavy tank. It's down to 68 health. He's not aiming his way. Unfortunate not to pick up the kill on that occasion. He is down to 68 hit points, and that Oho just took out that Centurion 1 who was on low health. Look at the mini-map now. Looks like Lone Dog's in a spot of bother here. Gets behind these tanks. Auto aims on the T343. the Chinese premium tier 8 medium tank. It used to be known as one of the worst tier 8 premiums in the game, but I think it's had some buffs over the last year or two, and now it's not too bad at all. Puts a shot into the Scorpion G. Looks like the Scorpion G just fired towards that T32. Lone Dog hoping for another shot into the tier 8 premium German tank destroyer, but it doesn't present itself, and it looks like plenty of tanks are going up here to flank this way. Lone Dog using his brains and going to try and flank from a different angle on these enemy tanks. They are winning 5-4, 6-4 now, and he wants to come round. He'd be hoping that VK100 is aiming out towards the water, out towards the east where the T32 and the other tanks are coming from. He wants to get some flanking shots into the German heavy tank. He does that, gets a shot into the side, using the dead Revelarisi by the looks of it to give himself a bit of cover, make it as challenging as possible for that VK to hurt him. His teammates are assisting. Turns to look at the T34-3, but he was set on fire by the E32, and the T32 picked up the kill on that one. 7-5 the score now. Lone Dog puts another shell into that VK100. That's the one that leads to the mouse. And I remember when I was grinding that VK100 01P, I think it's called. Yes, it is. It wasn't a bad grind at all as Lone Dog heads towards where the rest of those enemy tanks are. 8-6 the score now on Stalingrad. It is Stalingrad, yes it is. 2,663 damage for Lone Dog, 620 blocked, 201 assisted damage. He's on his way to a pretty good game, and he wants to turn this one into an absolute ripper so he can send it to Stewie at Get On Board Studios here in sunny Melbourne. Looking towards the IS-6. Doesn't penetrate the heavily armoured Russian heavy tank. 9-8 to score now, so the enemy are getting a little bit of a comeback, and they're encroaching on Lone Dog's cap, so he needs to make sure he's in a position to keep picking up the damage. The Type 59 you can see sitting on the enemy cap. He's only on 570 health, so he's probably thinking I might as well just try and cap this one out while all those heavy tanks are down in the south. 10-9 the score now. 3,084 damage done by Lone Dog. Puts another shot into the IS-5 and picks up the kill. That's one of the Clan Wars reward tanks. Now looking at that Revelarisi again. Ravioli tank, a lot of people call it. Pretty sure it's pronounced Revelarisi. I have been corrected on how I say the name of this tank before, the M4A1. The Ravioli tank, that's what a lot of people call it. Looks like these heavy tanks might be heading back to the base now because there's only less than 50 seconds left on the cap timer, that Type 59. Noob for seafood. Another interesting one thing. The more replays I watch, the more interesting in-game names I see. Exchanges shots with the M4A1. And he knows he should be able to beat him on the reload. Clips another shot into him, trying to stay away from that big French gun. He's only on 512 hit points. Now he's down to 134. And he should beat him on this reload. Hopefully he's going to pen. He does. Picks up his 4th kill in this game. 12-10 the score now. And that T26 E5 on the enemy side. Looks like he's gone back and reset cap because now the cap time has been put back down to just over a minute and a half. And that's going to leave the T34 all by himself just up here. And of course he's not looking Lone Dog's way. It looks like he might be turning his gun back in Lone Dog's direction now. Only on 204 health. Thank you very much. That's kill number 5 for Lone Dog from Rats Clan as he starts focusing firmly on that T26 E5, the Patriot tank. Another premium tank that has been introduced to the game probably a fair while ago now. No, there's 2 enemy tanks. There's still that IS-6 is still there. But so he'll say, no worries, I'll put one shot into the back. He'd love to pick up this kill to get the top gun. Let's see if he can. Shoots and misses. I'd be poking right around. Looks like the IS-6 is aiming firmly elsewhere. He does. Fires clutch and picks up the kill. That's always good. You fully aim your shots and you shoot the shot outside of a house. When you fire clutch, you might pick up the top gun. 14-11 is the score on Stalingrad. Just the one enemy tank left. The T26 E5, aka the Patriot tank. 4,683 hit points of damage done so far by Lone Dog, and he'll be thinking, I'm glad I got my replays turned on. I'll be sending this one into Stewie, and hopefully he can give me a good plug. 7 kills in the end. A whopping amount of damage. 15-11 in a pretty tight battle on Stalingrad. Let's have a quick look at the results before we move into the third and final replay featuring some Tier 8 medium premium tanks. Lone Dog from Rat's Clan. It's an ace tanker. It's also the Bruiser medal. Fire for effect, high caliber and top gun. Did plenty of damage to all those tanks. Have a look at that one. 4,908 hit points of damage. 7 kills, 30 shots fired, 27 hit, 23 went through. There were some pretty heavily armoured things that he was shooting at. That's why some of them didn't penetrate, but 4,908 damage, 1,010 damage blocked by armour, and a little bit of detected as well. That was enough for an ace tanker, and with a premium account, that's 116,826 credits profit after tax in that 8-minute battle, and that's what premium tanks at Tier 8 are all about. So we move on to the third and final replay featuring some Tier 8 premium medium tanks. This one's from Zeronized from EGP Clan. Big shout out to EGP, they're big fans of the channel. So he tells me this time is not top tier. The first two replays, I think they were Tier 8 games. This is a Tier 10 game, but of course with the new matchmaking there's just 3 Tier 10 tanks on each side, 5 Tier 9s. And looking at the tanks on the enemy side, some of the Tier 9 heavies might be a little bit challenging to penetrate, but even the Tier 10s are certainly beatable in the T25 Pilot 1. Zeronized from EGP is in the T25 Pilot 1. Now, this tank was given away through a marathon mission a fair while ago now. Marathon can't have been too hard because I picked one up. He's just trying to get into a position where he doesn't get spotted and get blown away by any of those big Tier 10 guns. Taking this one a little bit conservatively. Looks like he's moving up to this ridgeline on Erlenberg now. There's plenty of enemy tanks here though, so he needs to be careful. Needs to be respectful of these enemy tanks. The Oho looks like he was trying to find a shot on the Oho. The Oho not looking his way. Just biding his time, waiting until the Oho can maybe present its armour in a bit more of a sideways way, or maybe going to wait for something that he knows he can penetrate, like the Jag Panther 2. He didn't get spotted there. Looks like those heavy tanks are lining up the enemy tanks, including the Jag Panther. But these bushes or trees just in front of Zeronized, providing him with just enough camo value to not get spotted. Took his time shooting there. Obviously wanted to make sure that the gun was fully aimed. JP2, only a Tier 8 in this battle, but even Tier 8 tank destroyers can bounce shots every now and then. (0-1) score. He's looking at the Oho. He's obviously waiting for the Oho to angle in a way that's probably a little bit easier to shoot. He's taking his time, doesn't want to rush in there. You can see on the minimap lots of tanks: T34, the Oho, the E75, the T54, the CDC, the E50, and of course those tank destroyers sniping from back there. The Oho finally gives Zeronized his side, and he makes the most of it, puts a shot into the Japanese heavy tank. Not sure how that one's going to go. It looks like his side of the turret, that might be a nice... No, he's giving him his side again. Thank you very much for another 254 damage, says Zeronized. From EGP to the Oho, who's just backing off now. I'm not sure if that's going to penetrate. Goes for a shot of the turret, which is probably a better option than the heavily armoured front of the Japanese heavy tank. 2-3 is the score. He's looking for... just looking for weak spots, moving around that dot in the middle of the screen. If it's red, you know you're not going to penetrate it. If it's orange, you're probably not going to penetrate it. He's waiting, looking for a green spot. That looks a bit better. Unfortunately, he missed that one. This one should go through. Looks like he's angling himself again. That Oho driver certainly looks like he knows how to angle his tank. Zeronized pushing the T key, asking, like, requesting fire on that Oho. They've got 2 artilleries, and the artillery drivers in a Tier 8 game, when an artillery driver sees an Oho, he's going to rub his hands together because it's absolutely enormous, and it's probably a pretty easy target to hit. He's Just waiting for the Oho to move out. Firmly focused on the Japanese heavy tank. He's already picked up 953 damage and hasn't given any of his own health away. Gets another shot into the side of the Oho, showing great patience. Of course, I wouldn't be showing great patience. I'd be shooting and probably not penetrating. The Oho fires possibly blindly towards Zero Nice. I haven't seen his 6th sense go off. Not sure if he's got 6th sense on this one. He might. I'm sorry, actually he does. He was spotted early on when he was crossing towards this ridgeline. 2-3's the score. They're down by a tank. They've lost one of their 3 tier 10s, the mighty T110E3. 2-4 now as a P Victoria goes down, possibly on the other side of the map. Got killed by artillery. And Zero Nice trying to expose as little of his tank as he can while he's looking for shots on these tanks down the western flank of Erlenberg. Bit of a slow start in this game, however he's on 1400 hit points. That's almost the amount of hit points that he's brought into this game. Puts another shot on. Now he's on more damage than he brought into the game. That T10 would be a nice one to get rid of. The AMX30 does it. The ISU 152 picks up the kill on that Oho, and that's probably the most heavily armoured tank on this flank, apart from maybe the E75. And look, the T34 is pretty heavily armoured, but if they get to his hull, then it's just going to be easy damage all the way. He puts a nice shot. Message into for the ISU 152. Now he's looking towards that T34. Where's the T34 aiming? I think the T34 is aiming elsewhere, so he's looking for a shot. Top of the turret might do it, but I'd be looking towards his hull or his tracks. 5-4's the score as the JP goes down on the other side. I'm not sure if that's going to penetrate. You might have to poke a little bit more forward to pick up some more damage. He's on 1630 hit points of damage. 5-4 is the score. The enemy team do still have 3 tier 10s though, but they need to get rid of this T34 before they do too much else. So there's a shot he's been waiting for. The E50 tier 9 German medium tank, a tank that I really enjoyed playing when I was going up that line. The E75 gets taken out by artillery. The Object 261, the Russian, is on 2 kills, and it looks like that AMX30 is coming down this way to play and to give Zero Nice a little bit of a hand. You can see the T10 on very low health on 138 hit points, and the T34 not doing too much better on 452 hit points in the premium American heavy tank. 6-4 the score now on Erlenberg. Please tell me it is Erlenberg. Yeah, it is. 6-4's the score. He's still working off this ridgeline as well. Just taking his time. His team has 2 artillery, but so do the enemy, and he doesn't want to catch a shell from either the big Conqueror gun carrier, the tier 10 British artillery, or that 212A, the tier 9 Russian arty. They could both ruin his day pretty quickly. The AMX30 asks in chat if artillery can hit that T34, and it looks like the 261 might be. It sounds like he just shot one, stunned him. Now would be a good time for Zero Nice to put some damage into that T34. Of course, he knows the Stritzwagen 103B is back up here. Looks like the AMX30 has gone in and put a shot into that T32. The T10 picks up the kill in the end, and pretty conservative gameplay from Zero Nice from EGP, but like it or not, his team's winning. He's still on full health. He's on nearly 1900 hit points, so he's certainly already done a reasonable amount of damage, and he's still got all of his health up his sleeve. So if he needs to push in later on, he certainly can. Lucky enough, his tracks ate the shot from the STRV 103B, the tier 10 Swedish tank destroyer. The only tank that's damaged him now is that E50. He fires and bounces the tier 9 German medium tank, moves down here, so he's out of the rate of fire of all these tanks up here in the northwest. Auto aims on the E50, changes his mind. He's certainly going to be concerned about that grill. He fixes his gunner, who was killed by the E50. He is concerned about that grill, but he'd love to pick up the kill on the tier 9 German medium tank. T34 pings up at A1. Clearly that's where he thinks the enemy artillery are. Of course, when you do get hit from artillery, that it does give you a direction as to which way the shot came from. Zero Nice from EGP picking up some assisted damage now. Again, lucky his tracks ate the shot from that Grill 15. Picked up a heap of assisted damage by pushing up there and lighting up the Tier 10 German tank destroyer. Now it looks like the last remaining tanks are all up here at B2. Picks up some more assisted damage for the 2128. He would have loved to have put a shot into that Tier 9 Russian artillery, but his shot just went a little bit wide. He's auto-aimed on the CDC, takes the auto-aim off, fires manually, puts a shot into the French premium medium Tier 8 tank, puts another shot into him, loses his ammo rack that time, but a quick tap of the 5 key fixes it, and he pulls back, hoping that his gun would reload before the CDC, but lucky the T34 did the job and killed the French premium Tier 8 medium tank. 13-7 the score now, zeronized from EGP clan on 2,500 damage, 1140 damage blocked, which is pretty good for a T25 Pilot. 3,609 assisted damage. So far, there's still one tank left. It's a KV4, still on full health, which tells me he's probably been kicking back right at the back of the map and maybe sniping away. Looks like the KV4 is trying to take on the Nameless. And Zero9's in a pretty good position here, just to farm a little bit more damage. Puts a shot into the back of the KV4. Artillery shoots him. Look, to be fair to Artillery, he did say in the chat that he was about to shoot him, but he also stunned his teammates. But in the end, a comfortable win, 15-8. You have a very quick look at the results from that game, which is a bit of a different replay, that one, on Erlenberg. Zero9's from EGP clan, an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, the Spotter Medal, 5 for effect, and believe it or not, he got top score by experience in that game, and that's because it was a Tier 10 battle. It was in a Tier 8 tank, so of course, being bottom tier, you do get a bonus to your experience. 1327 base experience, 2,819 damage, which isn't too shabby at all, but damage upon detecting 3,700. That's where he got his massive experience score for all, plus 1140 damage block. That looks pretty good as well. Just under 61,000 credits with a standard account. Would have been just over 101 with a premium account in that 11-minute game on Erlenberg. He fired 20 shots, 15 hit, only 12 of those went through, but he certainly did his job in that Tier 10 battle on Erlenberg. Zeronized from EGP in the T25 Pilot number 1, the premium American medium tank, probably the newest American premium medium tank that's in the game. So 3 very different games featuring the T25 Pilot number 1 and of course the new Swedish medium tank, the Primo Victoria. Massive thanks for the replays, lads, and once again, thanks for accepting me into the community contributor program in World of Tanks Asia. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.